Good morning, guys. Um, Today we're gonna have two topics of psychology. As I remember that we are talking about decisions, and also we have been talking about the ways or the effective ways to resolve conflicts or to solve conflicts. We have over here, guys, some of the main characteristics about complacency. But just think a moment. What is complacency? We already know that it's a feeling of tolerance or excessive accommodation. That means that is when sometimes we have problems, but we don't want to admit them, or we just take so much pleasure with them that we just not take care about them. Also, it's a problem that is repeated without taking care about the consequences. What does that mean? That there can be some of the problems, for example, drug uses. There's thousands of people that have been suffering with this problem, with drug usages, but they just don't want to get out from it. So the complacency, guys, is that to be in a status without moving of ourselves, without changing anything. And basically, that is one of the major problems in our society. When we just stay quiet, stay clear, stay without moving ourselves to change the bad things that we know that at the end, we're gonna be the ones that will be harmed. We can understand, guys, complacency as that way, the feeling of accommodation, when we would just want to be without doing anything to solve the problem. So that's why the next topic is really important for us, and is how to make good decisions, how to change mistakes that we have been doing. I have a video over here, guys, that is really important for you to know it. And I know that this will help you a lot. And please take notes about this because I will need it later as a classwork, okay? So take out right now your notebooks, take out your notebooks, because you will copy some notes and the 9 tips that in this video, they provide you, the 9 tips. So please write them and also a brief explanation of each one of them.
Is your decision making? Do you sometimes get How to make decisions? So, before I start, I have a question for you. How good is your decision making? Do you sometimes get feelings of doubt or uncertainty when you make decisions? Are you one of those people who spend hours debating over an idea in your mind before finally coming to a final conclusion? Do you hate making decisions? If you're nodding right now, then this video is definitely for you. In today's video, we're going to discuss decision making and give you 9 tips which you can use to be a confident and better decision maker. But first, let me introduce you to Sarah, a 22-year-old lady currently taking a degree in business management. Prior to pursuing business management, Sarah was an architecture student. Right from childhood and into adulthood, Sarah never made any significant decisions for herself. In fact, pursuing architecture was her family's choice, since she could join her uncle's architecture firm. From a tender age, Sarah lived under her parents' care and control. She styled her hair in a tight ponytail manner to please her mother, even though she liked letting her hair down. She got perfect grades in school to please her strict father, who would be furious if she got nothing less than an A. When Sarah joined campus, suddenly she had plenty of freedom from her parents, but still she found herself in another cycle, where her friends made all the choices and decisions for her. She would join them for parties because they insisted, eat pizza because they insisted, and watch movies they liked because they insisted. Sarah attended all classes and passed her tests because she didn't want to disappoint her father. Everything worked out well. Until Sarah attended a conference themed on careers and decision-making in her college and realized that she had been living other people's lives. It was at that point that Sarah sat down and reflected on her life. For the first time in her life, Sarah made a choice for herself. She took a one-year vacation and quit architecture against her parents' wishes. The majority of her classmates who genuinely enjoyed architecture also asked her to stay, but Sarah knew that she didn't share their enthusiasm. She decided to explore the business world during her vacation. She interned with different companies and explored different aspects of businesses to see which she enjoyed the most. After returning home, Sarah decided to pursue a course in business management. However, before making her decision, Sarah learned several lessons along the way, which I'm going to share with you in this video. Sometimes, the good choices we make may have negative outcomes. Therefore, the idea of decision-making is increasing the odds that you make more good decisions and not try and avoid making decisions altogether. This can be achieved by having a decision-making model, especially for big decisions. Tip number 1. Zoom out. The first step Sarah took was to separate herself from the problematic environment and give herself space to observe her life. Zooming out of a situation enables you to watch yourself as if you are the movie and observe each of your decisions for what they truly are. By taking a break from architecture, Sarah noticed that she made the decision to be an architect because her family insisted. She also realized that her taste in style and food was heavily influenced by her friends. By zooming out of her situation, Sarah realized that she needed to start making her own choices. Tip number 2. Define the problem. Upon observation, Sarah realized that the problem was not any of her friends or her parents' opinions, but her inability to make her choices and stand by them. From a tender age, Sarah was comfortable with her parents making all her choices, only to realize how dependent she was once she joined college. By defining her inability to make decisions, Sarah could finally work on the problem and quit worrying. Take some time and define why you have trouble making decisions for yourself. Maybe you have controlling parents like Sarah. Maybe you have low self-esteem, or perhaps you're too afraid to take risks. Tip number 3. Identify and weigh the criteria. While rethinking her career, Sarah made a list of all the things she considered crucial to her decision. For example, she knew that her parents were important because she needed their support. However, she was also aware of their dominance over her life. She also wanted to be independent with her choices, and she wanted a career she enjoyed. She once worked under management in her father's company and was enthusiastic about making business decisions. Sarah then weighed all the factors and decided which were more important. In the process, she realized that despite wanting her parents' support, she needed to be in a career that she enjoyed even more. This meant that despite her parents' feelings towards her choice, Sarah was determined to fight for her choice. Tip number 4. Consult different people. During her one-year vacation, Sarah had the opportunity to interact with different entrepreneurs and employees. She used the opportunity to listen to the criteria behind their career choices. After consulting several people, Sarah realized that she was not only responsible for her career choice, but also for her happiness. Majority of the people who enjoy their careers made the decision for themselves and not for their families or friends. It may be easy for you to stay in a situation because other people are pleased, but you need to ask yourself if you're happy with the decision. Tip number 5. List your alternatives, weigh them, and decide. When faced with a problem, it's crucial to list all your alternatives before choosing one. For Sarah, completing a degree in architecture and excelling as an architect was an option even if she felt that her parents influenced the choice heavily. Sarah also had the option to quit architecture against her parents' wishes and pursue business management and be genuinely happy in the long run. In the end, Sarah realized that she alone had to bear the consequences of her decisions. Even with all the assurance in the world, Sarah was sure that she would not be content as an architect. Since her future happiness was more important than her parents' opinion about her career choice, Sarah quit architecture for business management. Does the value of your decision outweigh the cost? If yes, pick the alternative that provides more value. If not, do not pick that alternative. Tip number 6. Quit being a perfectionist. Being a perfectionist will prevent you from making your own decisions. The reality of perfectionism is that you'll be weighed down by the thought of making the wrong decision, which leads to feelings of anxiety when you think you've made the wrong decision. Making any decision comes with an amount of risk. Sarah could have chosen to quit pursuing business management because she could fail and her parents would have the last laugh. But she was aware of the risk she was taking and did it anyway, of course, after making her calculations. You need to embrace the risk you're taking and make the decision anyway. Change your career while you still have time. Start your business even if you don't have the perfect plan. Launch your online business and learn more along the way. You may face surprises and failures along the way, and at that point you can change your decision and take a different path. Avoid being afraid of failure and you'll definitely make more choices than you're making now. Tip number 7. Make small decisions a routine. Successful people make routines out of small choices. For instance, Mark Zuckerberg is famous for wearing his gray t-shirts and hoodies, even to important meetings. Steve Jobs is famous for wearing black turtlenecks, while Barack Obama stated that he cut down his official dress code to gray or blue suits. Why did each of these people define their looks? Because they have numerous important decisions to think about. While perhaps you can't show up for work looking like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs, you can definitely create routine out of some choices. You see, making decisions is like exercising a muscle. After making too many decisions in one day, the muscle tires out, leaving you exhausted and leading to poor choices. By creating a routine, you will preserve your mental energy and save it for more important decisions. Tip number 8. Do not make decisions when you're hungry, tired, or emotional. Making decisions when you're tired or hungry might lead to rushed choices. In these states, you're more concerned with doing away with the decision rather than weighing the risks. Do not make important decisions when you are tired or sleepy. Instead, postpone the decision until after you've eaten or rested. This goes for emotions too. You're more likely to make wrong and rushed decisions when you're highly emotional. Being too anxious, angry, sad, or happy will cloud your judgment and increase your chances of making a poor decision. Tip number 9. Set a time limit. Lastly, remember to set a time limit for major decisions. You need to create enough time to weigh your options, but not take too long that you end up postponing the decision entirely. For instance, Sarah set out 1 year to explore businesses before making her decision. She took an entire year to make the decision because it gave her enough time to consult different entrepreneurs, intern in different companies, and learn. However, if you're making a decision on what to wear on a date, you probably don't need more than 30 minutes. Do not prolong the decision for so long that you're unable to focus, but also avoid setting so little time that you end up being anxious. Set a time limit and have a decision by the deadline. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you've gained.
So have you seen the video, guys? There are 9 tips. I hope that tips helps you to make good decisions in the future. As a way to resume, guys, all of this video and how to make good decisions is just based in what you want. It doesn't matter what the people says. It doesn't matter what people wants you to do, but the real thing is what you want to do, not what people want you to do. So it's an advice, guys, and it's a way to understand life, that making good decisions will make you successful people. So I hope, guys, that this can be clear. And as the assignment that I will leave you today, please make a summary of all these tips and make a comment also. You can do that in 1 page. So make a resume of the 9 tips and also write a comment. Also write a comment about something that you learn about this. So what you learn about how to make a good decision. So I hope, guys, that you understand all the topic, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.